Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Funny how things work, right? I don't update the top 10 LR list for months and months and months and months, because characters that aren't good enough to crack it don't show up. And then we get an update, a week apart. I mean, that's just how it goes. We will be getting another LR in July. I think it's like around July 18th or 20th or something like that. It's kind of when we're expecting it. I think it's like, yeah, like I think it's like the end of this week, like in this range. I think is when we're expecting the Part 2 LR. Probably, presumably Jiren, but I guess maybe it could be hit as well. And I think even less likely, but still possible, Kefla. All right, so I guess let's just jump in. Before anyone asks, I do have their picture here, but I'm not even counting Team Universe 7 in this. You might ask, why? Why? Because they're not out. Their Easy 8 doesn't exist in game yet. Like, they're not an Easy 8 character yet. So I'll, wait till they come out. We'll use them a bunch. And then I do think they would probably make this top 10. But, I mean, I would want to, use them quite a bit first before I would do that. And, again, they're not even out. Haven't even used them one time. So, not going to do anything like that. I probably will update the yellow coin LR tier list because I haven't done that since Cell Max came out, but we'll see. Let's just jump right in. We're starting at Orange Piccolo at 10. Orange Piccolo has become a very divisive character. I mean, I guess because it's very old. I mean, I really don't want to be too rude, but people are just very stubborn, hard-headed, dumb about things. Like, they're just like, nope, in my brain, no matter what, he's terrible, he doesn't do enough damage. Like, it's just, they enter into clown mode is what they do. At the end of the day, these bosses become devastating and scary. Not just, oh my god, we got to the boss, they're so scary. It's once they super, and they're getting huge attack buffs. A lot of these bosses are around 1 million damage with their normals, and then they super, and they're exploding way up into, potentially multiple millions in the instance of, like, Kid Buu, or potentially, like, Blue Gogeta and stuff like that. The thing is, Piccolo will just pop his active skill. You prevent the boss from supering, thus you prevent the boss from being scary, right? And it's just that simple. This guy is helped a lot by Beast Gohan existing. This guy does help Beast a little bit in being able to activate his unit super. Mostly only relevant against Kid Buu because it allows Beast Gohan to not, for his 18 key super, have a melee super, but yeah. The one thing is that this guy is, on his last legs, though, because, I mean, in the Cell Max fight, and then now the Blue Cow and Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta fight, like, Piccolo can take a lot of damage quickly before he builds up. He can. So it's like, right, like, the thing about it is that up until about this point right here, he is, like, he's very tanky at the start of the fights. You guys know, for many months I've been telling you, it's most important to be very strong right away. Piccolo is pretty good. I mean, he's got damage reduction, but he does still need to get hit to increase his defense, which is definitely a huge detriment. But pretty soon, he's going to be taking too much damage while taking these hits that it's going to be like, almost not even worth it to run him. We're not quite there yet. Okay, I do see sometimes talk about Ribrianne. Ribrianne is a less defensive version of Piccolo is the problem, right? Like, Piccolo at the start, I mean, maybe not really so much in the Blue Cow and Evolution Blue Vegeta fight, but, like, Piccolo can kind of shadow in, like, slot 1 and stuff like that sometimes, and just generally be a more effective character until he actually does his giant transformation than Ribrianne. Ribrianne also, her orb changing is horrible. It really can get in the way in a lot of times when running Ribrianne. It constantly happens to me where Ribrianne's orb changing is just simply obnoxious rather than good, right? It's like, if you're going to be creating mega orbs like that, like, you need to be able to sit in slot 1, which Ribrianne doesn't. Ribrianne also has a like, twice as bad of a condition as Piccolo, right? When we're running Piccolo, we're just running him on Superhero. It's just turn 3. Ribrianne is either turn 6 or huge RNG with HP and Power Wishes category characters, stuff like that. So Piccolo is definitely better than Ribrianne. All right, so we have that. Piccolo probably going to take more discussion than a lot of these other characters because people are just so hard-headed and stubborn and stupid when it comes to Piccolo. It's a lot of people are like, let's turn our brains off. Next, we're going to grab the LR Gammas. LR Gammas are good. I mean, they, now the two toughest fights in the game, they struggle right at the start. Both Cell Max and Blue Kaioken Evolution Blue Vegeta will wipe the Gammas out of existence instantly if they get supered. And I'm not talking about slot 1 or something like that. I'm talking slot 2, slot 3, the Gammas turn 1 they're fish. They're fish. They're fish. And again, what do I constantly say? I didn't just make it up yesterday or today. Months I've been saying it's most important to be very strong right away. Gammas are not. Deep in the fight, LR Gamma 1 is like mega elite. This guy is so good. But you do still need to be able to get orbs in order for him to be super, super, super crazy, right? So, like, that's the thing about him. They are very good. This is a type of character I love, though. This is just such a good ability. 50% attack and defense 3 key to 3 different categories is super good. Like, I love this character, but obviously they're just not quite as elite as a lot of the other characters in front of them. Next, we have Broly. Broly, I mean, is super, super good once he transforms, but Broly has a horrible condition. This shit is just so awful, man. It's so bad. It leads to potentially getting cucked if, like, Broly starts in slot 7. Broly in base, like, right here, like, he's, like, okay. It's once he transforms, though, usually you only ever get 1 turn of Broly, right? Like, once you get to that 5th turn, I mean, one reason is this guy is doing a lot of damage. But, like, all of these toughest fights, like, we're wrapping that shit up, man. Right, like once we get to, like, kind of like this guy transformed. I found this guy to be pretty effective. He can have the unfortunate side effect of causing superclass characters to take more damage. I have seen Evolution Blue Vegeta get killed with this guy's domain up. Presumably, this guy's domain directly leading to Evolution Blue Vegeta dying. Broly is really good, but, I mean, the only thing is, at the end of the day, he is kind of just like an offensive unit, like, pretty much strictly. I mean, I would not call this guy weak defensively, but this is definitely an offensive unit. And, I mean, without, like, team protector abilities and stuff like that, he just simply doesn't match up with a lot of the characters in front of him. Next, we have LR Buuhan / Bootanks. This was controversial last time, and I mean, I don't know. I know that people love damage, and Broly can have one of the prettiest, sexiest damage turns there is. So, like, I get it. But, like, this guy is just bringing so much more to the table than Broly. The fight starts out, and it's like, all right, we have to baby Broly. Let's keep babying Broly. Oh, no, he's got this horrible transformation condition, right? Buuhan has easy as hell transformation. He does have an HP, like, condition on that, but considering all of his healing and shit like that, it's not really an issue. The thing about this guy is everything he does with the heal, the guard, the stacking, attack, and defense. He has an attack break. He has the ceiling. Like, he just brings so much to the table. Good link set. This is a great villain character. And again, I mean, right now, I would say that the Evolution Blue Vegeta and Blue Kaioken Goku fight to me just feels like a harder version of the Cell Max fight. But, I mean, keep in mind, the Cell Max fight I probably would rank as the 2nd hardest fight. And this guy is game over. Once he attacks Cell Max, it's GG because he seals him for 5 turns. So, like, that's big. It's just, this guy, what this guy is doing with all of his tools is more valuable than Broly just doing damage. Although, if you're running a strictly villain team for Broly, his domain will support as well. Although, I mean, depending upon the team here, let's go back to this. Depending upon the team, though, for Broly, right? Because his domain... it is extreme class enemies and allies, but then the secondary part for exploding rage or movie boss, right? The extra 10% attack and defense right there. You're not often going to hit that. Sometimes you might run like Topo or something like that on super bosses, maybe Pajamas Beerus, and obviously this is not going to hit them, right? That's kind of like one negative thing, I guess, there. But yeah, I mean, Buuhan in front of Broly with just, again, a more valuable toolkit easily, for sure. Next, we can go ahead and grab Gogeta. I left too many characters on this list. Like so many, like, you know, like LR Turles, Kaioken Goku, Great Ape Vegeta. Like these trash characters do not need to be here. You know, whatever. I mean, it's fine. All right, so we have Gogeta. Gogeta, just like Broly, is just not very impressive at the start. Just flat out, he's just not very impressive. Gogeta, Broly. It's like they're just like solid, like slot 2, slot 3 characters. Gogeta is actually Rainbow Orb changing, which is good. Gogeta also has the really bad, you know, from first appearance, essentially, not from start of battle, which is horrible. But Gogeta's, thankfully, is only 4th turn compared to Broly's 5th turn, which means you could just float Gogeta right away, and you can immediately transform into Blue Gogeta. Blue Gogeta, in comparison to, like, Beast and some of these other guys, doesn't really match up. Right, like the difference between Beast and like this guy is that Beast has his active up basically the entire fight, whereas Gogeta, it takes mad long to get his active, right? And if Gogeta starts out in slot 7, you are not seeing his active, his taunt, his team protector ability. But if we think about it in terms of running him together with Beast, he's perfect because, you know, Beast dominates the start of the fight, use Beast active, and then the turn afterwards, you have Gogeta's active, right? So, like, that's the same thing with TEQ UI Goku. You know, we can compare, like, these 3 characters, but if we think about just synergizing and running all 3 together, all 3 of them cover each other's weaknesses. TEQ UI, Carnival Gogeta, and Beast Gohan. Remember that. All 3 of them cover each other's weaknesses, so that's really good. Remember that this guy is the best Rainbow Orb changing character in the game, so that, by the way, gives him an elite extra status. Rainbow Orb changing is crucial and essential for a lot of teams. Rainbow Orb changing, do not sleep on Rainbow Orb changing. This seems insane, but UI Goku's at 5 and Vegeta is at 4. Let's just grab them both. This feels like they're too low. The characters we have right now are so good. Like Vegeta and Goku at 4 and 5. Like, it's stunning to me how good these guys are. And they're 4 and 5. Like, it's nuts. UI Goku, by the way, is apparently a lot better than we thought. I don't think I'm going to put him above Evolution Blue Vegeta. I mean, again, a lot of people don't understand my true thoughts on dodge. At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I'm going to take what Vegeta has, usually, over, like, what Goku has. With just, like, the guaranteed tanking, right? Like, characters are so good now, you could take a little bit of damage and heal up easily, even with, like, same type orbs. So, like, of course, that's better. Eventually, Vegeta's not going to be tanky enough, and UI Goku is going to outage him, because dodge is, you don't get hit, right? But here's the thing. So, apparently, so we know he has a 77% chance to dodge. Apparently, this is like an actual addition. So every time he dodges, it is just plus 7% dodge to this. So it's like you dodge once and he has an 84% chance to dodge. It is going to be very difficult to see this guy fail you and get killed. And that is, in my experience, how many deaths have we seen from this guy? 1, 2? In like 6 months of me using him on every team and every video. I feel like Vegeta has died more than UI Goku, right? Like, I don't know. To be fair, I've put a lot more pressure on Vegeta. Like, I feel like I've put Vegeta in much more, like, you know, big time pressure situations than AGL-UI. But I mean, if that's really how it works, where this just adds into it, I just, like, how is this guy not? He's going to be good forever. He's actually going to be good forever. I think so. Like, it's crazy. Crazy to think about. And then he has, I mean, a really good revive. The thing about the 2 of them together is, you know, Vegeta, it tends to be, like, you think getting hit 5 times is super easy peasy lemon squeezy 100% of the time, but it's not. It can be very annoying. But when you combo both of them on the same team, it's just like you feel like you have a revive up at all times. It's so good. These guys are so good together. All right. So next we have TEQ UI. I feel like some people might be shocked by this, because TEQ UI Goku, I mean, with a lot of his details and kit, you know, dodge canceling, like this, here, let's just transform to him and point this out. This is actually, like, I don't want to call it, like, the best ability. Like, this is just, like, one of the best things we've ever seen is this. This, like, it's so good. my response, like what I would say to this is, what the fuck were they thinking? It's that good. When he dodges, he like it's insanity. So he just counters everything. He counters supers, he counters normals. Like it's like, what were they thinking? The good news with this though is you see what they did with this guy, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're gonna get like, 10th anniversary Super Vegito, and he's just gonna be undisputed #1 best unit in the game, like instantly, right? Like for sure. Like when he's just he has something similar, Super Vegito. But yeah, this guy is crazy. Now, here's the difference. His weakness is this. This is the weakness for this character. No matter, like, if someone says it's not a big deal, like, just ignore them. They're wrong. End of story. They're wrong. It is a big deal. This condition is a big deal. It's terrible. But this is only relevant if we're comparing him to Cell Max and Beast Gohan, right? Like, if we're making the comparison of who is better between these characters, let's just get these guys up here, then, yeah, that gets brought in. But the thing is, unlike Gogeta and Broly, who are, I would consider, like, very mid in base, this guy is elite in base. He is very good. He's not as good as Beast, AGL UI, Evolution Blue Vegeta. Because remember, be good at the start of the fight. Vegeta turn 1 is very hard for him to take damage with his guard plus damage reduction. And then UI Goku, I mean, guys, he has 100% dodge turn 1. So it's like he just becomes you always must run him, right? TEQ UI is really solid. He has 70% dodge. It says high chance right here, but it's 70. He has 70% dodge. And then he has this damage reduction and guard. Now, understand the damage reduction and guard. A lot of people have been disagreeing with me. No, you're wrong. The damage reduction and guard is for normals. It's not for supers. This guy will get cooked a lot of times by supers. The damage reduction and guard is for normals. The damage reduction and guard is for normals, right? He has dodge for the super. So the point with this guy is he is not dodge or die because, to the super he is, but we've got a really good shot to dodge it. But to normals, he'll be able to tank them with his damage reduction and guard abilities. The first hit he takes, he has 50% damage reduction. The second hit he takes, he has 15% damage reduction plus guard. So that's very good. Now, again, this guy is just good. Like, he's elite. He's very good. One thing about this guy that I haven't seen anyone bring this up except for me, there is no build-up in here whatsoever. He just is what he is. You don't have to dodge. You don't have to attack. You don't have to get hit. You don't have to put him in this. He just is what he is. So when he shows up, you can kind of just go with what's best. I guess you do need to respect his condition, and floating him off means it's going to be, you're literally never going to see this. But, it's really good that he doesn't have to work for anything. Doesn't need orbs. He starts every turn. He starts out at like 20 key. Like, he's just really, really good. But once he transforms, he's best in the game by far. Because his first turn, again, guaranteed dodge. Bosses can't live this guy, pretty much. Because when you get this guy out, you're in the hardest phase, which, usually is where the bosses attack the most and stuff like that. He just ends the fight instantly. His domain is pretty good as well. I actually gotta go back. One thing I hate is how the domain, it's like here, even though it's actually relevant here. Like, I wish it was in this section, not in the first section, but, like, his domain right here, right? And I know why it's like this. It's because you check, like, the little symbol is on the base card, not on the transform card, even though I feel like it should be on the transform card is what they should do, because that's when it's actually active, not on the base card. We get what I'm saying there. Dude, this shit, the stats you see these characters do with this up, it's nuts. We do need to be careful, though, because most of the hardest fights in the game, of the 10 hardest fights in the game, 7 of them are superclass characters. Superclass. Right now, the hardest fight in the game is against superclass enemies. Kid Buu and Cell Max are the most elite villain fights right now. I guess, like, movie boss rush probably in there at some point as well. But, yeah. So he is buffing the enemies, which can allow some of the more toxic bosses to do way too much damage. But I mean, yeah, this guy is very good. And then number 1 and 2, I mean, I don't really need to spend too much time talking about them. It's just they're untouchable right away. Cellmax not as much as Beast Gohan. Remember, Beast, they have similar designs. Beast is for defense, but remember, defense has always been better than offense. It always will be better than offense. Offense and defense in this game are not comparable whatsoever. Defense is just always better at all times. It's always better. And these mega elite defense characters like this guy can still do a lot of damage when he triple crits every turn, right? He's still doing good damage. It's just defense is the most important. So this guy, I mean, no matter what, I mean, I'm sure there's some people who would be mad that UI Goku's not number 1, but I mean, I feel like when you're just using them both a lot, it's just Beast does not get challenged ever by the enemy. He doesn't. Whereas UI Goku can get killed easily. It's just, that's it. Beast is unchallenged. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you guys want from me. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not like, oh, damn, he can never be replaced or some shit like that. It's just what he's doing is the most important thing. And this. And Cell Max with this. That shit, it's just, UI Goku could do whatever he wants. You know, even transformed, I mean, at the end of the day, he can do 250 million damage, but if the boss has 270 million HP, then, you know, your other character's gonna have to do something, then the boss could potentially kill them, right? I mean, this guy does give an extra 10% dodge to allies, and I have to, like, this is just added for sure. So, like, you know, AGL UI Goku's gonna have 77 or 87% chance to dodge right away, but, you know, it's just, like, dude, I'm sorry, like, I have to be apologetic for this guy, but they actually just made him that good, Beast Gohan. See, I feel comfortable with this. Again, here, we can get rid of some of these here, and then right here, I'm actually going to do this. I mean, I took Cell Max into this new hardest fight, and one try, we cooked it. We blew them into hell, Goku and Vegeta. Cell Max dominating. Like, Cell Max, like, I don't really see a fall off by Cell Max or Beast or anything different here. So I would place it like this. This is what it looks like to me. So this very likely will be Orange Piccolo's final appearance here. I don't think Orange Piccolo will be here next time. Because again, there's going to be even harder fights than what we have. Maybe the fight will be better, like more designed towards Piccolo, but I would have to imagine at the start of the fight it's probably going to get harder, not weaker. Right, which is what would hurt this guy. At the harder the fight gets, turn 1, that's what'll knock this guy off. Because at a certain point, it's just not going to be worth it to take so much damage at the start. Looking at this again, I feel very confident in this. Yeah. I mean, people could call me dumb, idiot, moron, fatty all day long with this. I feel good about this. I feel confident in this. I thought initially I'd have Vegeta and UI Goku above TEQ UI, but I mean, I think TEQ UI, if you're including the whole package, TEQ UI is definitely bringing to the table more than these two, although, again, they are way stronger turn 1. Now, just to show people, though, I think the biggest thing is still UI Goku's... Oh, damn, nice. I got another good equip, man. Beautiful. The biggest thing is UI Goku's transformation condition, but I did also make a special one this time, just to kind of show. I do think it kind of looks like this. So this is, you know, just mastered UI. And then if we have the UI sign, but removing mastered UI from him, I think it would look like this. UI sign does feel quite a bit better than Gogeta. Maybe I should even just do this. No. Because if I'm counting him not being able to transform, I'm going to put him right there. That is how I would look at it. Now, sure, TEQ UI, you know, like, doesn't have, like, a team protector and stuff like that. But, like, it's just, he is so invincible and does so much damage. And it's just, he can get killed. I mean, Beast can get killed. I mean, Beast has died... I mean, at least a couple of times for me. I remember specifically Sword of Hope Trunks killing him once. I almost died to Kibu with Beast one time. But like that's all I can remember. I can remember getting killed by Sword of Hope Trunks and almost dying to Kid Buu once with Beast, and that's it. In 6 months of using him every single day. But yeah, this looks good. Like this is a good example. I'm gonna like when I do my thread, like you know, like I tweet this one first, and then I followed it up with this, and then I am gonna include this one as a special one, just so people kind of understand, right? Because people, you know, the community is completely diluted by potential the potential characters have, and they see, you know, transform UI and they say, what, but how is he not number one? He does so many counters and stuff like that. Yeah, that's true, but it's turn 5, 6, or 7 where this guy comes out. Beast has already protected the whole team, killed the boss, taken no damage in the process by the time this guy comes out. Like, I'm sorry, it's just like that's, you know, like it's just Beast has completely controlled the fight the entire time leading up to this guy. But remember, you know, that like that's just comparing them directly. They actually cover each other's weaknesses, because once Beast is going to start to wear off is when this guy comes into the fold, and then we have Gogeta as well, right? See, you guys get it. You guys get it. So there's that. No real differences besides just pushing Blue Kaioken, Evolution Blue Vegeta off. Again, the enemy Blue Kaioken, Evolution Blue Vegeta would be devastating to them. Cell Max can be devastating to them. Blue Gogeta can be devastating to them. They're a very good character, but they can get blitzed and obliterated in so many fights easily, right? Whereas Piccolo will just, you know, nah, I'd just go giant. And then the boss can't super and shit. So, there you go. Yep. Really no differences. They just fall off, and then UI slides in there. So, let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys, for watching. Mwah! I'll catch you guys next time.